Don't smoke me, don't smoke me. I'm in New York City, it's 79 degrees out, and it's November 6th. That's crazy. And so are modern offerings for wireless video. This is the Hollyland Pyro 7. It's a monitor and it's a wireless transmitter and receiver. This is the Pyro S transmitter, talks to this, and even this. They all talk to each other. Hollyland, thank you for sponsoring this video and allowing me to test out some new tech. About 5 years ago, I purchased an on-camera monitor and director's monitor. The total cost was upwards of $5,000, and it was a very valuable purchase for me to have. Fast forward 5 years, there's something else on the market that I think is quite interesting. This is the Pyro 7. This is the Pyro S. I also have my phone with the Hollyland app. Here's a closer look at the Sony. I have the monitor on here. It's being powered through the battery plate. Sometimes I put a handle on top. And here we have the Alexa, same setup, monitor on top. Sometimes I want to take off the monitor and just use the viewfinder so I can attach the transmitter and reduce weight on camera. I did a commercial shoot with an Alexa and an FX30. It was a very smooth process that led me to really like the monitors and the transmitters. No. The monitor is $549, two of them, $999. Transmitter receiver combo, $449. And there's a kit for $899. These prices are crazy, and now we'll see if they live up to my standard of quality, which is pretty high. All right, let's do a range test. We got the first spot set up. I think it's about 250 feet away through a building, just to see how this works when the camera's at a high level. There's so many things rolling right now.
Hey Blaine.
What's up?
How you doing, brother?
Good, bro.
I see you.
I see me too. Hopefully we get a red light here for a minute. Do you got a distance on me?
I sure do. I got you at 79 yards. How's it look for you?
Feed is crisp. I'm coming back up and we gotta take this a little bit further.
Cool.
All right, I'll see you in a second.
Cut.
Cut.
B&H just sent me a thing about for great monitors.
Really?
Advertisement, yes.
Are they listening to you?
I don't know.
Feed is out in the elevator, but every feed goes out in the elevator, so I'm not too worried about that. I would say this is a first for me to be city biking with a monitor like this. All right, I'm under the bridge. I can still see a feed. You should see me popping out of here any minute. All right, the feed tripped up a little here and it's back. I am in the middle of the intersection and I can see perfect feed.
Give me a wave when I can see you.
All right, I have a red. I'm in the middle of the first intersection.
Oh, I got you.
If you could gun it and let me know.
Yeah, I got you at 251 yards away.
250-ish yards away. And I can see myself right here.
And I do have the feedback here.
A lot of activity around here. All right, I'm coming back. I'll see you in a second.
Cool.
All right, bye.
Cutting.
I have this bridge right here. I would assume that's fairly thick. Do you have AAA batteries? Do you have a pack of 4? Oh, nice. Thank you. I walk in there with a lav mic on the outside of my shirt, a monitor with antennas and a camera attached to it. I always wonder what they think. Now we shall bring this down. Maybe we'll go to McCarran Park and see what's going on over there. All right, I'm gonna walk to those cones over there. I'll call you when I'm like halfway through.
Cool.
Walking across this field, I believe this will work with no problems just because it's a pretty straight line outside. I'm gonna get to the end of this track if you think you can get me on the radar.
You need a little phone holder on this camera. All right, Blaine. You are exactly 169 yards out.
170 yards. Okay, I'm gonna go to the other park. I do feel pretty far away right now.
But you can still see it?
Perfect feed.
Wow.
I think I can see you. Yeah.
I'm waving my hand.
Dude with no shirt and the red shorts is directly in between us.
All right, I can't see you on the monitor. I'm gonna look through you through the scope now, the rangefinder. I'm looking for you. I don't see you. I'm looking at that tree. I can't find you near the tree.
Directly between the two cones. I know that
I
there's.
see you. Hold on.
I'm waving my hand.
All right, I see you. 232 yards out.
232, and I still see a perfect feed. I'm in the middle of the other park.
Do you want me to send the drone at you real quick?
Yeah, bro.
Alright, I'm about to send this.
Nice. Now I'm like almost at the other side of the park.
Where are you?
I'm in the outfield off of third base of the Northern Diamond. How far away does this say that it is from you?
325 meters.
325 meters. Wow, that's pretty good.
Coming back to me.
Okay, cool. I am going to make a couple steps further and see if I lose the feed. Still got the feed. Pretty good. Can't go much further than this. All right. When you're ready, no rush. You can cut the camera and the mic.
Cool.
All right.
Peace.
Base.
That range will work for me. Let's look at a few features of the monitor. You have your tools down here, and anywhere that you click up here will bring up your menu. It's very simple, which I, of course, enjoy. You can turn on and off the wireless, which will save battery. The nice thing about the monitors is that they can be a transmitter or a receiver. Everything that I've used, all of the transmitters and monitors for it has always been in HQ mode, and I have not had an issue with that. I think the smooth mode is just lower latency. In your display, you can change the brightness and RGB, and you also have your shortcut buttons F1 and F2. F1 is a LUT, and then F2 is frame lines. There's waveform, vector scope, histogram, focus peaking, zebras, which you can dial in as you wish. Anything that you click down here, when you click over here, that's the setting that will be brought up. So we just clicked zebra, so we went into the deeper settings, it'll be on zebra. If I click waveform, it'll bring us to the waveform settings. There's an RGB parade and a Luma waveform. I would love to see an RGB waveform. Maybe that's a software update or a firmware update. You also have your LUTs in here. In the LUTs, you can import 5 LUTs through the memory card in the side of the screen, which is right here. The image that I see right here is a little less contrasty than what I'm used to, or at least in the blacks. You can kind of see how you can see this black being lifted compared to what's right there. So if I send a log feed to this monitor and turn on a LUT, this is the Arri 709. It's the same LUT that's in the camera. We can see that there's no longer that difference in the lifted blacks. This is with a log feed to the monitor with the LUT on the monitor, and this is with a Rec 709 feed with no LUT on the monitor. It's more accurate when I send a log feed and put that LUT on. That's a more accurate image. So just know that if you get this monitor, you have this zoom in. It would be nice if you could pinch to zoom in. Also the frame lines here. And what is this? Oh yeah, a grid mark. So again, if I click the grid mark here and I click this, it will bring me into that deeper setting. I don't need to like scroll around in here to find where the crosshatch is. So you can change different grids here, center mark, and you can change the color and the line width and everything, which is good. Also, a thing that's very cool about this, and maybe I might show this, the anamorphic D-squeeze, they have preset ratios right here in custom. We're at 1 nose squeeze here, and you can go all the way to 3. What's really cool is that you can go below 1. So if you were to mount an anamorphic lens 90 degree turned, or if you 90 degree turn your camera and have your lens normal relative to the horizon, you can accurately de-squeeze that on the monitor. I don't know of any other monitors that can do that. You can create some cool things with sideways cameras and sideways anamorphics. And then we have a couple other items here. We can flip the image, rotate the image, and have an image overlay. The image overlay brings me to my one issue. You can see when I click this, what I had in there was a frame line because I made custom frame lines with a PNG because I couldn't get the frame lines as custom as I wanted them in the monitor. So we have preset ratios as well as custom. But let's say I click 4:3. I'm sending the monitor a 239 to 1, but if I wanted a 4:3 within that, I don't care about up here. I want the 4:3 right here, and I can't at the moment do that in the frame line settings. So I really hope that there's a firmware update to allow me to do that. And the way to implement that in the best way would be to simply have, just like this transparency slider, it would be a scale slider. So if I had a 4:3 on here, I could scale it down and have it be exactly wherever I want it. And that would just eliminate my fix for that, which was making custom frame lines in Photoshop as a PNG and then having that image be overlaid. The only problem with that is that the PNG is not operating as a PNG. It's operating as a JPEG. So all of this with what I made on the computer is transparent, but it's not showing as transparent in here. So what I would do, because I couldn't get custom frame lines in the monitor, this isn't the worst thing in the world, but what I would do is just turn it on a little bit so I could at least see where the lines were. And then I would make sure that our framing was good for whatever I was doing. And then I would turn it off because you can see it darkens the image a little bit. But I was able to live with this. And I really think that the two updates that I would love to see here, custom scaling on the built-in frame lines, as well as PNGs operating like PNGs. That would be great. Lastly, there are two buttons here. This is a lock button so that just if anybody taps the screen, nothing can happen until it's unlocked. That just comes up if somebody touches it. So I will unlock it. And then there is a take a screen grab, which just takes the screen grab of this that you can then use to overlay if you're trying to line up a shot to something you had before. You can have that overlay, which is a common feature and a good way to get your frame back to how you wanted it. And you can record video in the monitor. I did utilize that a lot for this video that I'm making right now, where I wanted to record the feed of this monitor. And it's kind of cool if you want the menu or like the settings so you can recall your white balance or whatever. Also, I meant to take this off, and I'm realizing that it wasn't off, which is annoying, and I hope I can't see bubbles from this because I am not recording this again. There's shoots where I have a focus puller, and there's shoots where I don't have a focus puller. I'm not gonna consider the shoots where I have a focus puller because when that happens, I just let them handle all the wireless in the same way that I feel it's up to my recommendation, what camera and how we light things. I feel that it's up to the AC, how they want to deal with wireless and pulling focus. And a lot of the ACs that I work with have their own equipment. I give them the camera and they worry about that. But beware that there is some latency here. On shoots where you might not have a focus puller, that's where I find that these come into play, or for at-home tests. And in both of those scenarios, there's a monitor on the camera or a transmitter on the camera. You can walk around with this, or you can have somebody else walk around with this, or you can put it on a stand. To be able to provide that to a production is a money-making opportunity and something that can kind of get you a little more zen where people are not crowded around the camera. And to be able to get that for $1,000 for a monitor pair plus less than $1,000 for a transmitter receiver pair, this is very nice to walk around with. I actually like to walk around with it without the handles on it, but you can get handles as well. This is the receiver, which looks just like the transmitter. This is the medium size NPF. There are 3 antennas here, and the menu is very simple to select your settings, and you can also select the settings on the monitor. And this is the monitor. You have the 2 function buttons up here. Anything you want in the settings to be part of these 2 buttons. Frame lines are kind of cool because you can like tell the client they can turn on and off the frame lines when you're shooting multiple aspect ratios. Same thing on the back here, 2 batteries overall. Nice weight, not too heavy, and feels pretty solid. There are certain things that I've purchased that have been a pretty wise decision for me specifically. Cameras for sure, other little things that I might not have expected to need when I started out, but ended up needing them after renting them so many times. Having some of the complicated stuff has been useful for me, like a Movi Pro, complicated. I never want to set that up at a rental house, so owning it is nice because I have it all tuned to how I like it. Owning these is nice because it doesn't take any time to set up because I already know that it's set up. It's a little luxury to have my own personal walking around monitor. It makes things nice and easy for testing, for certain types of commercial shoots, for certain types of narrative shoots. And if you have a system that typically is very expensive to own and kind of a purchase that not everyone does, now that you can get it affordably today, it's something you can also offer on the bid as a billable item if you're providing wireless video to the production, even if it's as simple as one of these just on a stand. All right, so I think that's about it. If you have any questions about these, let me know. I am happy to share any further information that I might have missed in this. And also, if you still don't have F1, you are missing out. All right, peace.